Welcome back to Hardball. Barack Obama's had luck on his side when it comes to his opponents over the years. When he ran for the U.S. Senate, he ran against Alan Keyes. In 2008, he went up against a very weakened John McCain. Many Republicans worry that President Obama might get lucky again next time if they nominate Rick Perry. It could be a very tough sell in battleground states and populated suburbs of big cities like my hometown of Philadelphia. Well, Tom Ridge was Pennsylvania's very popular governor and the nation's first Homeland Security Secretary. Last week, he endorsed former Utah Governor John Huntsman for president. And Michael Steele joins us. He served as chairman of the Republican National Committee and lieutenant governor of Maryland. He's an MSNBC political analyst. And I guess the question is, we'll talk about Obama's luck, but I think it's pretty manifest. The man had some pretty lucky. He was pretty lucky in his opponents. He ran with two guys with marital problems in Illinois. He ended up running against this guy who parachuted in, Alan Keyes. You're laughing. I'll go with you first. Because basically he's been pretty lucky in his opponents. And John McCain, like your party always does, runs a guy 8 years too late. He was tired. He was like Joey Giardello finally won the middleweight championship 20 years too late. My question is your party all sort of thinking, Rick Perry, tough sell in the burbs, tough sell among the
I think some are. I think some people are looking at it that way. I think if you look at a general election strategy, given what you saw the president do just in the last 7 days, I mean, the whole turnaround with his effort, starting with the speech before Congress a week ago, ending up with the speeches out across the country, he's ready. And he's running. And the question is, in a toe-to-toe conversation with the American people, do you come off as a gadfly or do you come off as a serious player? And I think that when you look at the presidential contenders who are lining up to run, a lot of people around the country saying, the comments about Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, the whole Texas thing, may not sell that well in the middle of the country and in those key areas where we could be competitive, like Pennsylvania.
You and I have the same brain. Because I just thought the word gadfly about an hour ago, and I haven't used it in 10 years. Did you? When was the last time you used the word gadfly?
The last time I used the word gadfly was probably a year ago.
Oh, God, what is this, a weird night? Anyway, weird psycho yin-yang going on here. In a new USA Today Gallup poll, we love polls here, Rick Perry leads Republicans 31. He's got 31 up against Romney's 24. By the way, in the last poll in August, he was 17 to Romney's 24. So he's moving ahead. I don't think he's crested yet. You're out there with Huntsman.
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, because I think...
you don't like Perry.
Well, first of all, no, it's not a matter of not liking Perry. I'm delighted that we have three conservative Republican governors running for presidency of the United States. I also happen to like the one that I think is the broadest range of experiences as a businessman, as a governor, as a diplomat, and someone who I think is going to do very, very well with the retail politics, and someone who I think has the greatest appeal promoting a conservative agenda.
But he says he's crazy.
Democrats and
he says he's crazy. He believes in evolution and climate change. That doesn't fit in your party anymore. He says, call me crazy. Anyway, let's get back to the reality world. Politico today writes about a GOP meeting in Harrisburg, quote, in which, quote, most Republicans, Pennsylvania Republicans, agreed that Romney would be an easier sell to the fiscally conservative yet socially liberal voters who play an outsized role in deciding both statewide and swing district congressional races. Quote, I don't think Rick Perry's going over real well in the Southeast, said suburban state Senator John Rafferty, who's running for attorney general out there. Romney would do better. Michael, my brother, who's, of course, a big Republican, as you know, in Pennsylvania, he's county chairman of, or actually he's commissioner of Montgomery County, the wealthiest county. He said Romney Rubio much more than Rick Perry.
Well, that's probably true, and I think you'll see that. But when are
you guys worried about Rick Perry losing states that you could win otherwise, like Ohio, like Colorado? I'm looking through the states that are going to be close.
I think I'd want to take a closer look at how he's polling in those states on an individual state-by-state basis as opposed to a national. Yeah, but I don't know what the polls say in those particular states. I know if you get out to someplace like Kansas and Missouri, there's a different kind of viewpoint than when you're looking into Florida. So I want to see a little bit more what they're saying on the ground and how Republicans are translating a Perry candidacy against a Barack Obama, because whether you like it or not, this thing boils down to who goes up against Barack Obama the best. Yeah. I would suspect that the Obama team would be a little bit more nervous with a Huntsman who brings that level of Romney, or even with the Romney.
But here's the question: what happens to those people in those swing states like Colorado when they find out that this guy has talked up secession from the Union? He doesn't like civil rights because he doesn't like the way it was founded in '64 under the Constitution. He suspects voting rights should be gotten away with. He makes comments about evolution that makes him sound like he's he's a troglodyte. I mean, don't people go to school, worry about a guy like that, President of the United States?
Well, I think the first challenge is for the Republican Party to understand that and understand which one of the three conservative governors has the best opportunity, who has the greatest appeal to the broadest section of not only Republicans but independents and Democrats. I know a little bit about Pennsylvania.
I know where these folks speak, and I think of all the candidates, and we've got, again, three conservative Republicans. The conservative Republican governor that does best in those suburban counties outside of Philadelphia is John Huntsman. Right now, your party's probably thinking a little giddy. I mean, if you had an election right now, a quick vote, if you, like in Ohio, I think you'd probably win, no matter who you run. Whoever runs against the president, with the unemployment rate the way, and it's sort of the sultry mood of the country right now. But are you worried a little bit, Michael and Governor, that the president is lucky? He's pretty fast on the draw when it comes to it. He may be battling, as you were saying, he's out campaigning. If he gets hot on the trail, he becomes sort of a Harry Truman out there. Are you afraid it's going to take a really good candidate to beat him?
Well, I've always said it will take a good candidate regardless of what the situation in the country is, because beside the historic and the importance of having an African-American president of the United States, Obama is one of the best political operative candidates, elected officials that we've had in a long time, since Reagan, really, and even Bill Clinton.
The best at what? Narrow that down.
The best at really kind of bringing people to him and getting people to connect with him. I think one of the problems that he's had is that the White House has kept him in the White House much more than they probably should have.
You voted for him, didn't you?
No.
I almost got you there. No, because you're selling him so well here. Governor, is he that good? Is Obama that good? Because right now he's down in sort of what you might call the biorhythms of this administration.
But that's now. I mean, we're looking at next November, and I think the Republican Party needs to understand that we need to nominate someone in Tampa that can defeat Obama in November. Frankly, people don't care for his economic policies. There's an absence of foreign policy, but people still like the man. And at the end of the day,
the president.
They like the president.
So you're a little worried that Rick Perry's a little too Yahoo for states like Pennsylvania?
I think of the three candidates in Pennsylvania, the one that would be best served for the Republican Party is John Huntsman.
Okay, let's go to Indiana. Governor Mitch Daniels has decided not to run. He's very well thought of, but he says there's time for someone else to jump in. In fact, he even told the New York Times Jeff Zeleny he had tried to get 3 or 4 Republicans, other fellas or women, to jump in. Quote, Rick Perry proved it wasn't too late. I don't think it's too late yet. In the wired world we're in, somebody new could get in. Is that reasonable? Could a Christie jump in this race?
No, I don't think at this point, because just getting on the ballots in the various states would be problematic to begin with. Before you even got into whether or not you could raise the money, getting that organization on the ground is a huge part of the early work you've got to do. And when you look at, for example, what's going on in Pennsylvania right now, where the Republican legislature and the governor are looking at changing the dynamics of how they will vote electorally, all of these
things. How about a natural like Donald Trump? Wouldn't he be able to jump right in this thing? Just kidding. He's talking about running as independent. We'll have him in the sideshow. He's not going to drop that cash. No way.
Exactly.
Thank you, Governor. Good luck with your candidate. What's his name again?
President John Huntsman.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Michael Steele. Thank you, Governor Ridge.